Hi guys, this is second. I have a second of the two videos today. My tablet is scaring me. But yeah, but here we go. As we're on French Polynesia now. As archaeological evidence suggests that the Marquesa Islands may have been settled around 200 BC from western Polynesia. In subsequent dispersion, Polynesians from the Marquesans migrated to the Hawaiian Islands about 300 BC, or BC, AD, CE, and reached the Society Islands about the 9th century. Of the Hawaiian Islands, about large chieftainships were formed on Tahiti, Bora Bora, and Raiatea, as Tarveahora, north of Tahiti, was a royal retreat, and Tapotea of Raiatea was the most sacred shrine in the islands. As European contacts with French Polynesia was gradual, as Portuguese navigator Ferdinand Magellan signed Puka atoll to the Tuamotu group in 1521. The southern Marquesas Islands were reached in 1595. Dutch explorer Jacob Rigavian in 1722 discovered Makatea and Bora Bora and Malpiti, and Captain Samuel Wallace reached Tahiti in 1767, as well as Moria and Mauriti. The Society Islands were named for the Royal Society, which sponsored an expedition under Captain James Cook. Observed from Tahiti in that 1769 transit of the Sun by the planet Venus, as Cook reached Tubai under his last voyage in 1777. The history of the Society Island groups is virtually that of Tahiti, which was made a French protectorate in 1842 and a colony in 1880. As French missionaries went to Gambia in 1834 and in 1844, a French protectorate was proclaimed, followed by an annexation in 1881. The Tubai Islands were also evangelized from Tahiti as late as 1888. Rimatara and Ruruti sought British protection, which was refused, and they were placed under the French protectorate in 1889, which originally came originally from Fakarava Atoll, as these islands were claimed as dependencies of Tahiti, which within the protectorate of France in 1847 and became part of a colony in 1880. In the Marquesas, Nukuhiva was annexed by the US in 1813 by Captain David Porter of the frigate Essex, but annexation was never ratified. As French occupation of the group followed landing of forces from the French warship, requested by the chief of Tahuata near Hivaoa. Soon after, there was a quarrel with the French in 1847 as the chief seceded sovereignty to France, and the islands were administered by the French colony of Oceania, as the colony was ruled by a naval government until 1885, with an organic decree provided by the French government of the Privy Council and the General Council, representing the island but had some control over fiscal policies. The powers of the Government Council, however, were cut back in 1899, and in 1903 it was replaced by the Advisory Council, which was purely an administrative in function, and in 1940 the voters of the islands chose to side with the Free French government of Charles de Gaulle, second of the countries today, and many islanders fought alongside France in 1946 and was provided as a territorial assembly and was allowed to elect one representative to the French National Assembly and one to the French Senate. And in 1957, the French government extended the powers to the local territorial assembly. 1958, Fauverna or Opa, vice president of the Council of Government, announced a plan to secede from France and form part of independent Tahitian Republic. He was subsequently arrested, the movement collapsed, and local powers were again curtailed. France issued a new statute granting more local autonomy in 1977, but with pro-independent and pro-autonomy parties continued to call for popular elections of the president and more autonomy or even outright independence. As the territory became autonomous in 1984, in March 2004, France changed the classification of French Polynesia from overseas territory to overseas collectivity. And in 2004, organic art increased French Polynesia's powers of self-government as Oscar Temaru, a pro-independence leader, was elected president that year and served briefly before losing to his predecessor Gaston Filose. He at the time was opposed to independence, and over the next decade presidency rotated among several politicians including Temaru and Filose and Gaston Tong-Sang, who served multiple times each, representing different visions of French Polynesia's future in relation to France. In 1963, the French government had begun testing nuclear weapons on Mururoa, which the Territorial Assembly ceded to France the following year, along the neighbouring Fangatofa. And in response to worldwide pressure, the tests were moved underground of Fangatofa. And in 1975, however, the destinations continued. And then by the mid-1980s, political parties and environmental protection and human rights groups united to protest France's nuclear testing. In 1985, the detention focused the area when French commanders blew up a yacht owned by the environmental group Greenpeace was prepared to lead a protest near Mururoa Atoll, and in 1992 French Prime Minister Pierre Barré suspended testing, but President Jacques Chirac ordered its resume in 1995 amid widespread opposition from the French Republic and within the territory itself. France exploded a bomb under Mururoa. The last test was followed by rioting within the French territory as mounting anti-nuclear pressure led the French to reduce the number of planned tests from 8 to 6, and the last device was detonated below Fangatofa Atoll in January 1996, and later that same year France signed protocols of the South Pacific Nuclear Free Zone Treaty, also known as the Treaty of Rarotonga, as the military and civilian facilities related to nuclear testing were eventually dismantled as hundreds of French soldiers subsequently left the area, causing the loss of many associated service jobs. as many questions remain regarding the effect of radiation from the region where the tests were made, and the Gorham Committee inquiry report on the legislature in 2006 that France had hidden the extent of radioactive fallout from the above ground tests, and it may have had, and what it may have had on the region's population, as the committee recommended that France monitor public health in the region to compensate the Polynesian citizens affected by it and clean up the waste in the environment, as the French government rejected the report. Not really surprising. In 2009, the French government ordered approximately $10 million in compensation to those affected by the nuclear testing, but the offer was refused as insufficient, although French health officials in 2012 identified fallout from the nuclear cause as a possible cause of ill health in those exposed, and financial restitution remained on the table, as France disregarded opinion ongoing request for environmental remediation, as the independence for French Polynesia continued to be discussed. In 2012, at the urging of Tamaru, the pro-independence faction, the UN put French Polynesia on a list of non-self-governing territories working towards self-determination, and France has had the territory removed in 1947. Both pro and anti-independence French Polynesian leaders were in favour of a referendum to decide the vote, but as of when it is a little debatable. As of when it will happen may be debatable if it's already happened. And moving on to the language, French is the only official language in French Polynesia, although a 1996 law declares French as the official language, but also says that vaguely suggests that Tahitian and other Polynesian languages can be used. As of 2007, a census likely said that 70% of French Polynesians report that they speak language at home, while most of the others speak other Polynesian languages, mostly Polynesian languages, mostly Tahitian. They're about 90 Tahitian, and about 95% of French Polynesia reported they could speak and read and write French, and only 3/4 had knowledge of the Polynesian language besides French. In the Marquesas Islands, people speak one of several Polynesian dialects called Marquesan, the common language of the most Tuamotus are called the Tuamotuan. For the Puka Puka, the main language is Marquesan. In the Gambia Islands people use Mangavian. The Australs, the indigenous language of the Australs, is given way to Tahitian. While French is the only official language of Tahiti, most Tahitians speak the indigenous Tahitian language, Rio Tahiti, as well, and until the early 19th century, Tahitian was the only spoken language which British missionaries changed that by translating the Bible into Tahitian, as the alphabet is developed and has 8 consonants: F, H, M, N, P, R, V, T, and 5 vowels: A, E, I, O, U. Only Tahitian has only about 1,000 words. But since the pronunciation and grammar differs from English, learning the language can be hard, especially if you are an English speaker. Yeah. That was a bit on languages. Moving on to legends. Maori mythology is strong. Is a strong kind of like strong tradition. But from one island to another, from tribe to tribe, it beliefs in may differ. Like even from family to family. And there are many sorts of many disagreements between tribes and all that, that can end in long wars, you know. As the Polynesians were polytheist, and meaning that you kind of worship many gods over one god. If you follow one god, you're a monotheist. And, like, the Polynesians were very superstitious and feared spirits, as the main god was Taurua, known as the creator, as many secondary gods came into existence in legends, like Hero, the god of thieves, Hina, the goddess of the moon, Pele, god of volcano and ore, for whom human sacrifices were practiced. And when Christian missionaries arrived in the 18th century, Polynesians followed the decision of Queen Polynesia and finally accepted the worship of one Christian god as a consequence. Religion became myth, and you can kind of like discover the mythology in rich and poetic legends as they are singing a hymn to life to the adventures and achievements of heroes and gods. As one can explain the origin of coconuts, as once upon a time there was a beautiful princess daughter of the moon's son. Her name was Hina, and she was so beautiful that lightning came out of her body. She was destined to marry late Fahiri's king, who was a disgusting eel, as Hera ran away and went under protection of important Maui, Maui, who stops and adjusts the sun. And from the cliff of Vairo, they saw that the eel was coming to pick up Hina. Maui on his hook. Maui threw his hook and screamed. From my Eve, no king can escape. He will become food for my gods. And the eel swell. The hook was captured. The hook was captured and the head was cut off as Maui wrapped the animal in a piece of tapa and gave it to Hina, advising her not to put the parcel on the ground before she reached her house, as the head of an eel contains great treasures for you. But Hina forgot the parcel on the floor as the tapa went on, and the head of the eel faced the floor. Young shoots came out, and the first coconut trees were going to. And according to the legend, you can find the eyes and mouth of the eel on the coconuts. Not something that you'd really want to find on a coconut, to be honest, but it's there, so yeah. That is French Polynesia for you, so yeah. Bye for now, and I'll see you more soon. So yeah, bye.